Good afternoon, my friends. So today I am in Central Algiers, and more precisely on Didouche Mourad. Didouche Mourad Street, one of the main streets of the city center, one of the most, one of the main commercial streets of the city center. And if you drive straight on, you will arrive in La Grande Poste, or the main post, the central post office. You can see it there in the background. It's the white building in the background over there at the end of this street. But now we are turning left onto Mohammed V Boulevard, the Mohammed V Boulevard. And our destination today, or this late afternoon, is Ain Benian. Believe it or not, we are driving to Ain Benian, and I'm going to show you one of my favorite routes to go there. So it's rather exceptional to have traffic here, rather exceptional. I mean, at this time of day, I wonder what is going on further away. And well, if I need, I will skip traffic, filming traffic here. And this is Mohammed V Boulevard, one of the main boulevards of the city, and it links the Odin Square that we have just passed here. That square, or that roundabout where we turned left to come onto this street. So this street links that part of Algiers to Tilimili, the neighborhood of Tilimili, which is in the upper parts of Algiers. And now we are moving from the lower parts of Algiers to the upper parts of Algiers. And Mohammed V Boulevard was named after an ex-Moroccan king who supported Algeria during its war for independence between 1954 and 1962. Just look at that crazy guy riding his bike on the sidewalk. And although this boulevard is wide, it's not a commercial street. Not like it's not like Didouche Mourad. I know that there are cars that are double parked here. There are cars that double park, but I don't think that they cause so much traffic. So, and I'm really afraid that this traffic jam will go all the way to Tilimili. The problem is that there is no escape once you are stuck in traffic here on this boulevard. There is no escape. It's a one-way street. You can't turn around, and there are no back streets that will I mean, not in this section of the boulevard. There are no back streets through which you could escape. All right, so all this is caused by the cars that are double parked here. Yeah, there is only one line or one lane left for the cars to go, and the problem is that local residents have trouble finding parking spots here. All right, guys, so now we have released ourselves of that traffic jam. Tilimili is on the right, the rest of Central Algiers is on the left. And you can see how the traffic is fluid here on this boulevard. And it's usually like this all along the year. This is a very densely populated area of Algiers, but not everyone has, I mean, many people have cars, but not everyone is lucky enough to find a parking spot. The street on the left is known as Debussy Street or Mustafa Al-Wali Street, here on the left, and it leads back to Didouche Mourad, the street where we started this filming this video. And now this is the Karim Belkacem Boulevard. We are driving under the Aero Habitat building, and now in order to drive towards Ain Benian, we are going to take the Sfinja Road here. We're going to leave Karim Belkacem Boulevard or the Tilimli, the main street here in Tilimli, and go up this street, the Sfinja Road, which links Tilimli to the area of El Bier, to Boulevard Bouzareah in El Bier. You've got to be a little bit careful here because there are these sharp bends. There is this beautiful garden, the Tifariti Garden, named after a town in Western Sahara, Tifariti, which is the de facto capital of Western Sahara now. Western Sahara, a country in northwestern Africa that's still under Moroccan occupation, the last colony of Africa. And it's such a shame that this country, an African country, is being colonized by another African country. It's the only African country colonized by another African country. It's such a shame. It used to be a Spanish colony, then Spain evacuated that colony in 1975 without bothering to organize or hold a referendum for self-determination. And today, Western Sahara is still fighting for its independence. Just look at this beautiful cedar tree over there. And Algeria, of course, is one of the nations that support Western Sahara, and it actively supports Western Saharan independence, the Sahrawi independence movement. And in order to show solidarity with Western Sahara, which is one of our neighbors, our authorities named the park Tifariti after their de facto capital. And of course the de jure capital, or the legal capital of Western Sahara, is Laayoune. It's the city of Laayoune, which is still in the territories of in the Sahrawi territories that are occupied by Morocco. You should read more about this on the internet. And now I'm still on the Sfinja Road, and this is the upper entrance of Tifariti on the left. Now just look at those signs on the right, El Bier and Benakinoun. This road is very hilly and it's slippery with this water, therefore I've got to take it easy as I'm driving it up. Just look at this hilly street, this hilly road here too. And the area here looks like a rural area. And now I'm driving onto the Bouzareah Boulevard, one of the main streets of the upper parts of Algiers. And this boulevard leads straight to El Bier. And the Saint Raphael balcony is on the right. There is a garden on the right known as Saint Raphael, and you can access it via one of the streets that go on the right. We will arrive there shortly. There are declivities here on this road because the earth is moving underneath the road surface. You know, the soil is moving. There is some sort of an erosion process going on here in this area. So in order to go to that garden, you've got to turn right, not here, but there is a right turn that I've just passed. You've got to make an almost 180 degree turn in order to enter that street. It's behind us. Then you will be driving through a series of narrow streets until you arrive in that garden. And this is the last stretch of the Bouzareah Boulevard that goes straight towards the Kennedy Square in the central part of El Biar. But everything here is part of the El Biar municipality. We are already in El Biar. El Biar is one of the residential areas of the upper parts of Algiers. It's 6:14 in the afternoon, and the sun is beginning to get lower and lower. It's beginning to set. There is traffic here, permanent traffic here, near the Kennedy Square. The sun is already behind the buildings, despite the fact that those buildings in the background aren't very high. And by the way, we will be driving to Ain Benian today via the Bainem Forest, so I'm sure that it's going to get even darker as we arrive in the forest. And the forest that we will be driving through is in fact the largest forest here in Algiers. I've already filmed a video on how to drive there. Now I've got the sun. Okay, the sun wasn't isn't behind those buildings, but it's still well above them. That's great. So we'll still have some sun as we are filming this video, some sunlight, but I've got the sun straight in my eyes. And this is the Kennedy Square, the central square of El Biar, with the mosque on the right, the city hall in the middle. It's over there where the Algerian flag is floating, and an old post office here on the left. Such beautiful buildings of built in the neo-Moorish style. It's the colonial Islamic style. And now, if you want to go to Tilimli, you've got to take the right, and if you want to go to Benaknoun and Chateauneuf and Chevalier, you take the left. And we are taking the left because we've got to go to the Carnot Bridge, then on to Bouzareah. It only took us 14 minutes to drive here. That's not bad at all. And now we're driving onto the Malika Gaid Boulevard, the commercial street, one of the main commercial streets of El Biar. Now I've got to be very careful because I can see cars rushing from all sides all around me. So in order to avoid that my car gets scratched by some careless driver. Just look at... Alright. They'd better not mess with me because I am very recalcitrant. and I don't tolerate people overtaking me in such a rude manner from the right. So there is a driver behind me that has that was so kind as to let me merge into this lane, and it's exactly the lane that I need to drive on in order to go to the Carnot Bridge, then on to Bouzareah. And I think that everyone in this lane is going the same direction as me. Just look at the vehicle in front of me. He's signaling that he's going to turn to the right. He's going to turn onto that street that will lead us to the Carnot Bridge. But this car is disrupting traffic by parking here. All right, guys, let's go. I've forgotten this street's name. Maybe I can find it. I can read it from a street name plate around here. And El Biar is in fact an essentially residential neighborhood. It has those quiet areas that any residential neighborhood has. It's in fact an upscale neighborhood with lots of beautiful houses. And now we are driving down this street in order to go to the Carnot Bridge that links this area, the area of El Biar, to the Bouzareah area. And it crosses the Frévalon connecting road, the Frévalon penetrating motorway. This road here, this section of the road has always been bumpy. And now, if you want to return to El Biar, you take the left, but we are continuing down this street. In order to go to the Carnot Bridge. It's Carnot, spelled C-A-R-N-O-T, Carnot. And now I'm turning right onto the bridge. Easy peasy. Now if you want to go to Bebelwed, you take the right. There is a right turn here. And now we're driving straight on. If you want to go to Chevalet and Benacloun, you take the left. And we are driving towards Bouzareah via this road, Abdelghani Qodri, I think. Just look at this. It's a very long and winding road that goes up the mountain of Bouzareah. It's the Abdelghani Qodri street. It's winding. It has these bends. And it resembles the roads of Kabylie, those roads that you would find in the rural mountainous areas of Kabylie. There is traffic, but I hope that it doesn't go all the way to the central square of Bouzareah. Because in that case, this traffic jam is going to be very, very, very long. It's going to take us a lot of time, because we are still far from the central part of Bouzareah, which is in fact the main bottleneck on our route. It's the only area where I am expecting a lot of traffic. I mean, certain traffic. But it looks like it has eased. This traffic jam has eased. Now, guys, we are driving up the tallest mountain here in Algiers. Bouzareah is the tallest area in Algiers, and it's 700 meters high above sea level. It's so high that they placed an astronomical observatory here in this area. I've already filmed a video on how to drive to that area of the observatory, and we also have a meteorological station here in this area. As well as TV and radio towers in order to broadcast national TV stations, national TV and radio stations to the northern parts of the country, to all the Metija area. So I compared this area to the mountainous roads of Kabylie, but there is a difference between this area and Kabylie. This area is in Algiers and it's densely populated, so there are houses everywhere. While in Kabylie, you can find villages every now and then, but the rest is nature and agricultural fields and orchards. And olive farms. You can see a lot of olive trees in Kabylie. Beautiful and huge eucalyptus trees here on the right, on the left too. And when it rains here in Algiers, everything becomes green and beautiful. So green and beautiful. So much so that some areas become lush with vegetation and make our neighborhoods look like a city in a tropical country. There is a cedar tree in the backyard of that house over there on the right. A friend of mine lives here on the left. We worked for the same oil company some 6 or 7 years ago. I still come to visit him occasionally. And when it rains, because it has been raining, I mean, it rained a lot this year. It rained a lot here in Algiers. We are in 2022, and when it rains, there are new potholes that appear, you know, on the surface of the road, and old potholes get even deeper. They get even deeper. And now we're approaching the top of this hill, or this plateau, the Bouzareah plateau. There is a speed bump here. We've got to slow down. This area of Bouzareah has a lot of garages, of car mechanic garages. Where you find a lot of mechanics, you also find a lot of spare part stores. A lot of auto parts stores. And this sometimes causes traffic as well, because lots of cars stop by in order to get their, a lot of drivers stop by in order to get their cars checked. And then if they need some repair, they really need to look for some place where to park, and sometimes those places are, parking spots are unavailable. And now we have arrived in the central part of Bouzareah. There is this big mosque here on the right. It's the main mosque of this neighborhood. If you want to go to Babeloued, you take the right. To Babeloued and the Boulourin area, you take the right. And the city hall is on the left. We're going to film all this area for you. Just look at this. That's the city hall over there. The University of Bouzareah is straight ahead. They have made this area very beautiful. There is a florist over there. Now Babeloued is on the right if you want to return to Babeloued, and also via this road, the road of the observatory. But now I am continuing my way to Ain Benian via the Bainem Forest. I have already filmed a video on how to drive from Bouzareah to the Bainem Forest. So today I'm going to be essentially driving on the same road. And this is the Bainem Road, which it's a road that links the central part of Bouzareah to Beni Messous, another neighborhood known as Beni Messous, which is some 5 to 6 kilometers away from here. These areas used to be small villages back in colonial times, 50 to 100 years ago. They were separate towns. They were separate from Algiers, but now they are all part of Algiers, part of the built-up area, the huge built-up area of Algiers. I am glad to notice that. I'm glad to see that the road surface has been repaired here. They have repaved the road, because 3 to 4 years ago there were road works here. They installed some big ducts, and the road became, I even filmed that in my videos, my previous videos. The road became very bumpy, but now they repaved the road, and it's much smoother than before, and it's such a pleasure to drive it. So because the road is much better now, I will be filming more videos in this area, and I will show you how to drive from Bouzareah or maybe Albier to Beni Messous via this road, the Bainem Road. I guess that vehicle, all right, it's entering into the garage. took us 30 minutes to drive from Tinibli, in fact from Didouche Mourad, the very heart of the city center, to this place. There was some traffic. Wasn't there that, you know, traffic jam that slowed us down a little bit on Boulevard Bouzareah. No, on the Mohammed V Boulevard, and also that traffic jam in Algiers. It would have taken us some 20 minutes to drive here from Didouche Mourad, and it's spectacular, you know. So half an hour ago we were in the city center, and now we are in one of the remote parts of Algiers, one of the most isolated parts of the city. There is traffic here too, and I hope that it doesn't hold us for a long time, because we really need to make it to the forest as early as possible before it gets too dark and there is nothing to film. And I think that this traffic jam here is caused by some sellers. Yes, you can see fruit stalls there on the left. Sometimes there are mini trucks that bring it's like the local market here. There are some trucks, mini trucks, that bring fruits and vegetables too, and they park on the road, on these narrow roads, causing enormous traffic. Now if you want to go to the area of Reis Hamidou, you take the right. There you see that entrance into which that car has driven, that white car on the right. So that road will lead you, I think it's the Sidi Benor Road, and it will lead you to Reis Hamidou. In fact, it's not Sidi Benor Road, but it has another name that starts with Sidi. I forgot it. Someday we are going to film a video where we will be driving it down. I filmed a video last year in 2021 where I drove the road from Reis Hamidou to this place here, then on to Bouzareah, to the central part of Bouzareah. But this time I will film a video where I'll drive that road the opposite way. And now we are approaching the area of the forest. Of the Bainem Forest. There is a banking institute here on the left, somewhere here on the left. And now the forest is on the right. All this fenced area on the right is part of the Bainem Forest. It's such a huge forest, and it's protected, and it's the largest forest here in Algiers. The banking institute is on the left, and now I will soon arrive in in the area where I can access the forest. Just look at how huge some of these pine trees are. They are maritime pine trees. Beautiful pine trees here, just like these two pine trees that are on the right. And now these pine trees are welcoming us into the Bainem Forest. So Beni Messous is on the left, and the Bainem Forest is all around us. We're already in it. This road used to be very, very rough, but fortunately they repaved it. Now it's such a pleasure to drive on it. Beautiful juniper trees on the left. Now we are inside the official borders of the forest, and the road gets narrower. You've got to be a little bit careful here because there are some sharp bends. It's even narrower than the roads of Kabylie or the roads of the area of Sharia in the Blida mountain, in the Blida Atlas Mountains. Now we will arrive in an area, in the recreational area, one of the recreational areas of this forest. And you know that you are in that area when you start seeing cars parked on the shoulder of the road. This is the recreational area. It looks like a garden. In fact, it was developed recently into such a beautiful area. Just look at those palm trees on the right. There is plenty of space where you can park your car here, even on a busy day, even when this area is busy with people, it's full of people. Very few people are here now. There is this speed bump because it's late in the afternoon and it's Ramadan, so there are some balconies here on the right from where you can see the sea. So if they overlook the sea, you can see the sea from here. It's such a beautiful place. Some people come to picnic here, while others come to cycle or jog. And my kids enjoy this area. In fact, all kids enjoy it. That recreational area sometimes becomes overcrowded. It has a playground. Alright, so now I've got to be really careful here. This this pickup truck is parked in a very bad place, right next to a bend. And now this is one of the most dangerous sections of this road. Just look at it. See, and some cars overtake even in this dangerous area. You've got to be very careful. Now, if you want to go to the town of Bainem, it's on the right. And if you want to go to Ain Benian, you take the left. All right. Stop sign. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Great. Let's go. So now we're driving straight to Bainem, to Ain Benian. This section of the road is also dangerous. Just look at how sharp these S-shaped bends are. The road is insanely narrow here. There are deep trenches on each side of the road. You don't want to run off the road here. Just look at how sharp this bend is. Now this is the exit. There is this beautiful straight road that runs straight towards the area of Ain Benian known as Le Plateau, or the Plateau. There are beautiful farms here, around here. Watch out for potholes, guys. Don't be overconfident when you are driving in these areas, because there might be potholes. I can see a vineyard here on the left, a huge vineyard. And I remember that I once released a big spider that we caught at home. We released it here. I caught it, put it in a box, and released it here in this area. If it's still alive, that spider must be happy now, enjoying crickets in this, I mean, on this farm, on these farms. We once caught another spider that was even bigger, and we released it in the Bouzareah wood. We prefer to take those big spiders to the woods and release them there, instead of just leaving them live at home, because we could kill them accidentally. We no longer have a big backyard as we used to in the past. We built most of the land surface at home. All right, so now we're approaching the plateau crossroads. All right, so what's going on here? A car wants to turn left and park, and another car wants to come onto this street, and another car wants to drive by. That's what causes confusion. All right, guys, so now if you want to go to Shiraga, you take the left. If you want to go to the central part of Ain Benian, you take the right. And if you want to go to an area of Ain Benian known as Jolie Vue, in fact Bellevue, you take the left. I mean, and now let's go this way. We're going to the central part of Ain Benian via a road known as La Forêt, or the forest. I think that it's named like this after the Bainem Forest, which is nearby. It took us 45 minutes to drive from Didouche Mourad to this area. There is an area of Ain Benian here known as Didouche. It's on the left. It's a very rural area. all rural areas are being developed here, and now they are going to widen this road. It's not going to consist only in this lane here, these 2-lane street. They are going to make it an expressway with 2 carriageways. Now there's this trench here across the road. And this route that I have just taken is more practical than the seashore road, because some people might think about driving from Central Algiers to Ain Benian via the seashore road, via National Highway 11, via Bab Louad and Bouzareah and Rais Hamidou. But in fact, there is a lot of traffic on that route. A lot of traffic. There is traffic in Bab Louad and then more traffic in the area of Bainem and in the area of Rais Hamidou as well. So you'd better take this route if you are sure there is less traffic on it. And now we have started the descent towards the coastal part of Ain Benian. I can already see the sea. This is the area of Ain Benian known as La Forêt, or the forest. There is a residential neighborhood here on the right. They call it the December 11th apartment complex. This area. You've got to be careful. There are people crossing the road, bikes riding by, running by, and a lot of oncoming traffic. All right, so now just look at this. In order to drive straight to the central part of Ain Benian, you've got to take this road here. This is the road that will take you straight to the heart of the town of Ain Benian, which is in fact one of the westernmost neighborhoods of Algiers. There is this huge road speed bump here. Now I think that I'm driving straight to the Bashir al-Ibrahimi Mosque. And Ain Benian is a big neighborhood, a big suburb with a lot of stores and markets, and they've got everything they need here. Alright, there is a stop sign here, and now I think that it's okay to drive across highway number 11, National Highway number 11, Route Nationale 11, that leads to Algiers. See, if I turn right, then if you turn right, then you will be able to drive as far as Algiers, Central Algiers. Yeah, sure enough. Oh, I can't drive straight on. Yeah, and sure enough, we have arrived in the middle of Ain Benian, and exactly this is the Bashir Ibrahimi Mosque. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications button in order to receive notifications on my future videos. I've also noticed that only a third of you guys are subscribed to my channel. That's why I urge the other 2/3 of my viewers to subscribe to the channel as well. Drive safely, visit Algeria, visit Algiers, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.